My name is Mohit Gupta, owner of Mohit Agricultural Tutorials, and today our tutorial video is on the topic codominance. We will talk about what is codominance and how we will differentiate codominance with incomplete dominance. Guys, I have made many videos on genetics, so if you have not seen those videos, link will be given in description, right? So as you know, this is a playlist of principles of genetics in which we are talking about certain variations from Mendels law. Let's start our topic. So our topic is codominance, right? What is the meaning of codominance? Say the dominant allele and the recessive allele both are expressing their qualities together as a dominant. So this type of condition will be said as codominance. Say both are dominating together, right? So to understand this law properly, let's talk about two conditions, right? So very first condition will be of simple incomplete dominance. Right. And the second condition will be of codominance. Right. So when we are talking about incomplete dominance and codominance, let's take a case. What type of case? Of a flower. In my previous video of incomplete dominance, I have given an example of a flower called snapdragon or Mirabilis jalapa, that is called 4 o'clock plants. So let's take certain example from those flowers, right? Mirabilis jalapa, say Mirabilis jalapa, but will not consider any name because we have to distinguish between the both, right? So let the flower that we are crossing with is of pure red color, male, crossed with pure white color, female. But the case is that when we talk about red color, the red color will be dominant, right? Pure dominant red color, dominant red color, right? And say this is the recessive one, recessive white, right? So these two organisms are being crossed in the case of incomplete dominance. So when we are talking about incomplete dominance, let us plot this in Punnett square, right? So considering a Punnett square over here, correct? So when we will plot these alleles or genes in the Punnett square, say pure dominant color, right? That is red color, crossed with pure recessive white color, will give birth to 4 offsprings, right? Say this is a heterozygous offspring that take to birth in F1 generation. So this is the parent generation and this is the F1 generation. So say this is an organism which take birth. So this is an heterozygous impure organism. And the quality of the organism is that the organism will be pink colored. Say in this case, there is the character that is seen in F1 generation offspring. The character that the offspring has shown is little blend type character, right? Mixed type character means both the traits. Say these are the trait that we are talking about is the color. So both the traits are being mixed, right? So this type of say inheritance or this type of variation will be said as incomplete dominance, where both the traits or both the color are little mixed or say blend type of mixture is seen, right? So the offspring will be pink colored offspring in this case. But when we talk about codominance, say the same case we will take pure red father, say male, pure red male flower, right? So this is also dominant red. So no need to write the dominant. You can understand by the capital letters, right? If both the letters are capital, say these are the dominant one. Crossed with pure white recessive, right? Pure white recessive female. When these both the gametes are being crossed, what we will get is, say, plot them in Punnett square. So guys, when plotting them in Punnett square, the result that we will get will be, okay, now pure dominant red color flower crossed with pure recessive white color flower, right? So heterozygous organism again formed, again heterozygous organism formed, again heterozygous organism, and fourth one will be also heterozygous. But when we will talk about the trait or the character of this heterozygous organism in connection with this type of incomplete type of inheritance, say we talk about this inheritance, that there is a little blend type of character to be seen. But in this type of inheritance, what happened? This flower, sorry, little mistake. Right. So the recessive one will be white color. So okay. So this is the, say, offspring of pink color offspring, right? Now over here, what do we have is the offspring, the heterozygous offspring that we are taking is, say, of, now the character or the trait, color trait is being changed little bit. How it is changed is, this type of organism will have a color like, say, white colored coat upon which red color of dots are being seen, right? Or marks are being seen. Correct. So this is, say, this is the phenotype in case of codominance, while the phenotype in case of incomplete dominance will be pink colored. So we can define codominance over here only, that whenever both the trait or both the character, right, in F1 generation expresses themselves, or the dominant and recessive equally expresses themselves. Say the dominant is also working as dominant and the recessive also working as dominant, right? So this type of inheritance or this type of variation from Mendels law will be said as codominance. Means both the characters are co-dominating, equally dominating with each other, right? So this is incomplete dominance and codominance. Now let's talk about F2 generation, that what phenotype and genotype ratio. We'll talk about the F2 generation, right? So what will happen in F2 generation when we will talk about incomplete dominance and the codominance at the same time. So say the two individual or the two of the offsprings are taken out from the Punnett square and they are being crossed. Say these are two heterozygous pink colored offspring crossed with each other. Say these are two what type of pink colored. So little blend type of mixture is being seen, right? So this dominant one represent red color, but white W represent white color. But when you will see in Mendel law, what Mendel said is, in F1 generation, right, the dominant allele should express itself, right? But in this case, what happened is, both the traits, either dominant or recessive, both are expressing together with a blend type of mixture, or say mixed type of, right, characters are being mixed. So this type of dominance will be said as incomplete dominance. So when we will talk about it in Punnett square, so let's write right. So say this is dominant, this is recessive, this is dominant, this is recessive. So when plotting these in Punnett square, say the individual or the offspring in F2 generation will be right. So these are the 4 offspring, right, of F2 generation, and these 4 offspring will be, when we talk about their phenotype ratio, the ratio will be 1:2:1, because the first offspring will be pure red color, law of dominance, both are dominant. Then this one will be pink colored, incomplete dominant. This offspring will be also pink colored, incomplete dominant. And this offspring will be pure recessive, white colored, right? So 1:2:1, and when we will talk about genotype ratio in this case, will be again 1:2:1, right? So this is simple F2 generation when we talk about incomplete dominance. This is the case of incomplete dominance. So let's see what will happen in the case of codominance, right? And then we will get a conclusion by this type of comparison of both the cases, right? So when we will talk about codominance, again both are heterozygous organisms but different characters. The trait that they are expressing is color, but what type of character they are expressing is, say, white coat on which red dots are found, right? So this is parent 1, this is parent 2 with white coat and red dots, correct? So when we will talk about these two parents or these two individuals, they are being crossed. So again plotting them in Punnett square, F2 generation RW. So RW, say WW, right? So these are the 4 offspring in F2 generation. But the character, when we talk about the character, their character in F2 generation during codominant, right? During the process of codominance, the character of this RW will be white coat upon which red dots will be found, right? This type of character will be there. Look, so white coat upon which red dots are being found. So this type of character will be found in this type of organism. Now when we will talk about this, its genotype and phenotype ratio, then phenotype ratio will be equal to again 1:2:1, and genotype ratio will be again equal to 1:2:1. That is equal, right? Equal. So the conclusion that we get during these two cases or these comparison is that both the cases are almost equal, but the character that they express in F1 and F2 generation, the heterozygous, right, heterozygous individual expresses the character. In this case the character will be little blend type. In this case both the alleles, say dominant or recessive, both will equally express their qualities. So this is called codominance. Let's talk about certain. Okay guys, so example that we will talk about, our very first example will be domestic animals, right? domestic animals. So how codominance is seen in domestic animals? So when we talk about a bull or cow, or the cases we can take is male dog and female dog, right? So these are certain cases where codominance can be seen, right? Let me just demonstrate it properly. So when we want to see the codominance in these type of domestic animals, we will talk about, say, a bull or a male cow, no, or a bull of a black color. A black color bull, pure black color, we will start from pure line, is being crossed with pure white color, pure white color cow, right? So this is pure dominant black color bull is being crossed with pure recessive white color cow. So in this type of case, what will happen when we will draw Punnett square in F1 generation? What we will see is black, black, white, white. So when we will talk about this offspring, say we pick out one of the offspring over here and talk about its character. So the character that the offspring got from its parents, right? The parents has inherited certain character to this organism. So let's talk what characters those are. Say when we are talking about the trait color, so let's focus on color only, the color of the organism. So the color of the organism will be, say, white color coat upon which black color patches are formed, right? Black color patches are formed. So in this type of case of bull or cow or male dog or female dog, there also we can see, right? Dogs also show certain variations like codominance. So this type of, say, both the alleles are expressing their qualities equally. Both are dominating together. So this type of case can be said as codominance. That is a very best example of codominance. Let's talk about another example of codominance. The example that we will talk of is AB blood group in organisms. So when we will talk about AB blood group will also show the codominance. How? Let's talk about. When we talk about A, B and O, alleles, right, or genes. So this A perform as a dominant trait, right? This B perform as also a dominant trait. So these both are dominant. But in the case of O, right, this is an recessive. That's why when we talk about AB blood group, A and B together dominates. Say IA is an, say, gamete that represent A blood group, and IB is a gamete that represent B blood group. So when they both will get inherited or interact with each other, when they both will interact with each other, the blood group that we will get will be AB, right? What quality does this AB blood group have? That both A and B will dominate, right? Hence, when the patient of AB blood group needs blood, then both A and B can give their bloods, right? But in case of ABO blood group, in this case only A and B can give the blood, right? So these are certain cases in which the codominance can be seen. So guys, this is the end of our video. If you like our video of codominance in English, so please hit like button, subscribe my channel and stay fit guys. And if you want that I should make the video in Hindi, then please write the comment in the comment section so that I should make the video in Hindi, right guys? Okay.